Broadcasts of Hiki No are made possible by the support of viewers like you. Mahalo. And by Bank of Hawaii Foundation, investing in Hawaii's future by promoting collaboration, critical thinking, and other 21st century skills through Hiki No.
Next on Hiki No, stories from across the island chain.
In Waianae, a 13-year-old beauty queen has her eye on the crown and the end zone.
A Maui teen opens up about her childhood and a father who struggled with addiction.
A student's love of photography and the ocean yields stunning results.
The Big Island's longest active Red Cross volunteer reveals her secrets of service.
An historic Kauai landmark evolves into a modern-day hangout.
And a 7th grader juggles school and her newfound passion without missing a beat.
Girls make great DJs.
All this and more, coming to you from Leilehua High School in Central Oahu, home of the Mighty Mules.
That's next on the nation's first statewide student news network, Hiki No. Can do!
Aloha and welcome to Leilehua High School, home of the Mighty Mules. Leilehua is located in Waihua in Central Oahu. The area is known for its lush agricultural fields and the military bases that surround it. Leilehua was founded in 1924 as Schofield High and Grammar School. A few years later, Leilehua adopted its colors, green and gold. Green for Waihua's pineapple fields and gold for its fruit. The mule was later selected as the school's mascot, an animal that also represents the United States Army and the U.S. Military Academy at West Point. In 1949, the school moved to its current 32-acre site on California Avenue in Waihua and changed its name to Leilehua High School. Today, roughly 1,800 students and 200 faculty and staff members are proud to call themselves Mighty Mules. Our first story takes us to West Oahu, where students at Waianae Intermediate School show how a female athlete is shattering stereotypes with both beauty and brawn.
And when I win, I get excited and happy.
13-year-old Shardenei Luning has been competing in beauty pageants since she was 4 years old.
One time we went with my cousin, and I seen her on stage with her dresses and her mom doing her makeup, and I wanted to try putting on makeup and putting on dresses.
Okay, so this process normally takes 30 minutes.
Since then, Shardenei has participated in 45 pageants and has won about 15 crowns. But tiaras aren't the only type of crown this beauty queen wears.
Not all girls, they play sport. They play sports like basketball and baseball, but I don't think anyone would play a physical contact sport.
That sport is tackle football, and according to the National Federation of State High School Associations, less than 1% of girls play it.
We don't cut Shardenei any slack, even though she's a girl. I mean, we work her hard, just like any other boy on the team, and we treat her just like anybody else.
Shardenei has played on the Waianae Tigers Junior Midgets Pop Warner football team for 2 years now, as an offensive guard and cornerback.
Let's go!
But she didn't just learn the rules of the game. As the only girl on the team, football has taught her how to tackle challenges both on and off the field.
The boy on the football team didn't like me because I was a girl playing football. So he would pick on me when I got to practice, and during practice he would push me, hit me, and say mean things to me. Made me feel sad sometimes, but there were all the other people on the team that kept giving me positive advice.
One of those people was her coach, who taught her a valuable lesson.
Ignore the people that are mean to you and try your best to enjoy what you do because you enjoy doing it.
She's a hard worker. I really love her. She's tough. She really shaped the boys up on this team.
Facing the boys also required Shardenei to tap into her pageant experience, a trick she learned from her mother.
The best advice my mom gave me was to never give up and try your best, to have fun at what you're doing, because in pageants, things don't go your way. Football is the same. There are There are times that you win and times that you lose.
No matter what the outcome, Shardenei knows the most important thing is to have fun.
You mess up, but if you try your best at what you're doing, then the outcomes are better.
Trying her best and handling problems with grace is what makes Shardenei a definite beauty on stage,
like a movie star,
but a beast on the field.
Go!
This is Amy Nevis from Waianae Intermediate School for Hiki No.
We're back at a major landmark at Leilehua High School, the Peace Garden. In it stands a pole with the phrase, "May peace prevail on earth," written in many languages. It's a symbol of acceptance and a reminder to keep peace ever present in our thoughts. In this building behind me, you'll find our Peer Mediation Center, Hawaii's oldest and most active peer mediation program. Peer mediation is a voluntary and confidential process of resolving disputes with a neutral third party. Trained student mediators address conflicts among fellow students, such as bullying, fighting, and relationship issues. Every student gets a chance to explain his or her side of the problem. Then, the mediator helps them figure out what went wrong and encourages each person to understand how the other feels. This experience allows everyone to communicate effectively and to learn important lessons in conflict resolution and anger management. Next, we head to Maui, where Hiki No students at HP Baldwin High School explain how one teen achieved great success by embracing her difficult past.
Baldwin High School senior McKayla Wandell is a lot like her dad. They share a sense of humor and positive outlook on life, but that wasn't always the case.
My father became addicted to meth before I was ever born, so he'd already been suffering for a while when I came into the world.
Growing up, McKayla's life was anything but normal. Having a father who was addicted to crystal methamphetamine meant McKayla didn't see much of him as a child.
Growing up with a father addicted to meth was, of course, difficult because he was consumed with his addiction and he wasn't necessarily able to support me and my brother. When my dad went to jail for the first time, me and my brother moved in with our grandparents, and they're the people who raised me, and without them, I don't know where I would have been.
At one point, drug addiction even caused McKayla's father to live on the streets. But when McKayla was 10 years old, he became clean, and over the years, they were able to rebuild their relationship.
He's a totally different person. He's my dad now, and so I'm able to talk to him about anything and joke around, and I can actually spend time with my father now.
McKayla's unusual childhood has inspired her to give back to people going through rough times.
I volunteer at places like the Hawaii Meth Project, where I do meth outreach, and then at Feed My Sheep, because my father was homeless for a period of time when I was growing up, and so it's my way of giving back to people who are in the same situation.
McKayla also realized that she could use her story to inspire others. She was invited to speak at TEDx Youth at Seabury Hall.
My message was that no matter where you come from, you're still able to do whatever you want.
Don't listen to these statistical profiles that you should be anything else than what you want to be, because you can do it.
A student there who had never really heard this came up to me afterwards and was he was in tears, and he was thank you for telling me that, because I've never heard that before. And it really touched me because I was able to help someone else be inspired to believe in themselves, and it was a really important moment for me.
McKayla plans to continue inspiring others by sharing her story. She says she achieved success by embracing her past, not ignoring it.
Those are all things I'm really proud of, and I wouldn't have done or found if it wasn't for those harder times as a child. So I wouldn't change anything about my life, and I think it's a happy life.
This has been Jessica Pressman from HP Baldwin High School for Hiki No.
Welcome back to Leilehua High School, home to more than 800 student athletes. Many of our facilities, like our stadium, are named after people who have made a positive impact in our athletic programs. We have 2 newly renovated weight rooms made possible by community donations and manpower, a multi-purpose athletics field, a gym, tennis courts, and a rifle range. In our next story, students at Punahou School on Oahu follow a budding photographer who uses his love of the ocean to capture moments few can enjoy in person.
Kahi Bisho, a freshman at Punahou School, enjoys taking photos of the ocean in his free time. What started off as a hobby for him is quickly growing into a passion. His work was recently featured in an exhibit at the Hawaii Living Art Marine Center.
I post most of my images on Instagram, and the Living Art Marine Center started following me, and we began to talk about my pictures, and then the idea of an exhibit came up. We planned the exhibit with the Living Art Marine Center going to Punahou for a program so other people from Punahou could see my images.
Zach Noyle, an alumni of Punahou and a professional surf photographer, has helped to mentor Kahi over the past 2 years.
In 7th grade, Zach Noyle came to one of our school assemblies. He talked about his surf photography, and I never knew what it was at first. And then we started talking about it and what he did. And he showed us pictures, and I was blown away by how beautiful they were. For like the first couple months, I began body surfing to get comfortable with the waves and the power of the ocean. My favorite part is with all my friends. Even though sometimes like the waves are not good, you don't get the shot that you want, it's still a great time. But it's always sometimes scary during big days when the current just pulls you around and you get stuck inside on a set and you get pounded and something can go wrong there.
Kahi enjoys taking photos at sunrise when the water is calm, but what he loves more is sharing these images with others.
I like to show people like the perspective from inside the water, because not everyone is able to be inside. So I would like to show everyone that is not able to, like my mom, sister, grandmas, so they can see how beautiful it is from the water. My family really enjoys it, and I'm not so much about the recognition, it's more about my pictures and what makes me happy. The one that sticks out, probably the one with the rainbow, the barrel and the rainbow together. It was just, never seen it before, and I was happy I captured it.
I love Kahi's work. He's come a long way, progressing very quickly, and there's no telling where he can be if he continues and just has fun and enjoys it and remembers why he got into it, for love for the ocean.
I hope that people that see it enjoy it just as much as I do and appreciate that we live in Hawaii and not every other place can have this.
I'm Troy Noka from Punahou School for Hiki No.
Hiki No is now on Instagram. For show updates and a peek behind the scenes, follow us on Instagram at Hiki No Can Do.
We're back at Leilehua High School, and I'm standing at the far end of campus where our Army Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps meet. A third of Leilehua's student body comes from military families, and the school has developed many strong military partnerships, like the 227th Infantry Battalion Wolfhounds, who built a state-of-the-art rope bridge for cadets to train on, and Tripler Army Medical Center, which offers mentorships to students. It's because of their support that Leilehua cadets have won 2 national championships in the past 3 years.
Next, we head to Hawaii Island, where students at Kealakehe High School share words of wisdom from the longest active Red Cross volunteer in the county.
American Red Cross, this is the Deployment Call Center. My name's Cathy. How can I help you?
Cathy Lewis is the longest active Red Cross volunteer on the Big Island of Hawaii. She served for over 25 years in a variety of capacities.
I'm a Red Cross volunteer because I really believe in the Red Cross mission, and what I like is just starting with the basic needs of food, shelter, and clothing.
The American Red Cross's mission, we're here to help out with any humanitarian emergency. And so the Red Cross's mission is really to help out during times of disaster and help alleviate suffering.
My first disaster was the Kalapana lava flow, and that was back in the 80s. So that was a long time ago. And right now we're concerned about the lava flow heading into Pahoa. So boy, that feels like a full circle.
Mrs. Lewis managed disaster evacuation shelters in the threat of recent tropical storms and hurricanes. In addition to disasters in Hawaii, she responded to more than 20 emergencies on the mainland and in other countries. These disasters include the Mississippi River 100-year flood, Hurricane Katrina, and Superstorm Sandy. Mrs. Lewis has interviewed survivors, worked in huge evacuation shelters, and provided teddy bears to families of fallen firemen.
My most difficult disaster was 9/11. It was really emotional. We understand, all of natural disasters are hard. 9/11, I just can't understand because the destruction was human.
It's really heartbreaking to be there with them right after they've lost a family member. So that can be really difficult, but it also feels really wonderful to know that there's a way that you're helping these families recover.
Over the years, Mrs. Lewis has transitioned from disaster response to support. Now she uses her decades of experience to facilitate the efforts of other volunteers.
And more recently, I've moved into staffing where I work with other volunteers. And I also am on a national team where we do deployment, and we make sure the person has what they need from the time they leave home till they get to the disaster. And I wanted to say thank you so much for being an American Red Cross volunteer.
Mrs. Lewis was recently honored as Volunteer of the Year for the Red Cross in West Hawaii. But she says it's not about the accolades. When asked what was most important for the Red Cross to give, Mrs. Lewis didn't hesitate.
Hope, and hope is so important. You know, we can't go on day to day if we don't have hope. We're talking about people that often have lost everything, whether it's been a fire or a tornado or a hurricane. They need to start over. They need to see that there's hope ahead where they can regain some normalcy to their life. And I like being a part of it.
This is Antoine McLeod from Kealakehe High School for HIKI NŌ.
We're back in Wahiawa, the gateway to the north shore of Oahu. I'm standing near the intersection of Kamehameha Highway and Whitmore Avenue, on the north side of town. Here, on 5 acres of ancient soil, you'll find the Kukaniloko birthstones. Hundreds of years ago, this was a place where high-ranking children were born, including many chiefs. It was believed to carry great power and reserved only for people of royal lineage. Kukaniloko and its temple, Ho'olonopahu Heiau, have long been destroyed, and few of the original stones remain. The area is now a state park, open for everyone to enjoy. Now, let's travel to Kauai, where HIKI NŌ students at Waimea High School explore a historic landmark and how it's evolved over the decades.
Hi guys. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Enjoy the show.
From date nights to evenings spent with friends and family, the historic Waimea Theater has been entertaining Kauai residents for decades.
In 1938, the theater was built. It was running until about the 70s when it closed down, and then it turned into a warehouse. Different businesses used it, and then when the hurricane hit, that's when it kind of shut down. And the County Kauai and West Kauai Business Professional Association wanted to reopen it, restore it, and bring it back to its old charm.
Hurricane Iniki may have damaged the theater's exterior, but officials were determined to keep its heart and history. That meant bringing back the rattan chairs the theater had when it first opened. To this day, Waimea Theater is the only theater in Hawaii with these chairs. They also serve as an important fundraiser.
You could buy the seat, and then we would put your name on a plaque and put it on the seat that you chose, and we still have more available.
The 260-seat capacity theater reopened in 1999 with an expanded lobby that leads straight to a customer favorite, the concession stand.
We take our customer service very seriously. When you come in, if you're a frequent visitor, we know what you like. We know your size of soda. We know the kind of popcorn you like. You know, we know the candies you like. So it's very personable. And I think people will really like that instead of having the 16-plex where you're just somebody coming in to watch a movie.
Since then, the theater has continued to evolve. More than 2 years ago, the theater switched over to digital files instead of 35mm film. All the movies are now shown in high definition and even 3D. But the theater doesn't just show movies. It's become a popular entertainment venue. Its calendar packed with a variety of events.
This theater is the main host for the HIF, the Hawaii International Film Festival. At the HIF, of course, we have a whole bunch of different films, sometimes some local films. Just recently, HIKI NŌ had their nomination ceremony, so all the local schools from Kauai came down and PBS came down to show the best of on the screen.
The theater hosts up to 58 events each year. From school performances and celebrity concerts to plays, and even a wedding.
There was about 30 people in the wedding party alone. They used the theater before in the past, and everybody has a connection to this theater, so they wanted to rent it and have their wedding here.
The theater's unique blend of old and new attracts visitors from all over the island and the world.
Just the other day, there was someone that came in, they said, oh my God, I've never been to this theater before, and how great it is and how beautiful. And we had tourists that, you know, we're not open during the day, but if we're in here, they will walk in and they just want to see the place. You know, a lot of tourists, a lot of visitors, they love old historical buildings, and Waimea Theater is one of the few on Kauai.
The historic Waimea Theater has been an icon in this town for nearly 80 years, and employees hope it will continue to be a gathering place, welcoming the community for decades to come. This has been Janica Marie Pasqua from Waimea High School for Hiki NŌ.
We're back on the campus of Leilehua High School in Central Oahu. I'm here at the Aloha Transition Center, where new students get help and guidance with their first day jitters. Each year, the center welcomes about 300 new students. Student ambassadors and staff provide each new student with an overview of the school, starting with a tour of the campus and an introduction to various programs and activities. More than half of all new students come from military families, so the orientation includes a crash course in Hawaiian culture. Our student guides recommend local foods to try and cover the basics of Pidgin English, which, at times, can sound like a foreign language to non-locals. The staff does its best to offer support for new students throughout the school year, with follow-up meetings and lunchtime gatherings. Our next story comes from students at King Intermediate School in Windward, Oahu, who reveal how a summer school class turned one girl into the life of the party.
When I grow up, I want to be a DJ.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That will conclude this evening's entertainment.
When you're in middle school, going to a school dance is a real treat. It's an even bigger treat if your classmate is the one mixing the beats.
I'm Aisha Yamamoto, and I'm a 7th grader at King Intermediate School, and I'm a school DJ. I wasn't actually planning to start DJing, but I took a summer school course, and I took this media class, and we did a lot of photography and video editing, but at the end we did DJing, and it was really fun and exciting, and all I could think about was how I wanted just to continue to explore DJing.
I was shocked. I didn't realize that middle school had dances. Knowing that was already interesting, and then knowing that she wanted to be a DJ, first of course I said, well, how did that happen? And so she shared with me that she had learned all of these DJing techniques and strategies from a class from the summertime. And so it was an exciting opportunity for her, so I was happy for her.
It's an exciting opportunity that requires a lot of hard work. While most students spend their lunch in the cafeteria, Aisha and the other King DJs are in the school studio, picking the perfect songs and assembling playlists to keep the crowd energized and on the dance floor.
What I enjoy most about DJing school dances are being able to see how the crowd responds and reacts to my DJing. And since DJing opens a whole other world of music, it's really cool to see how other people respond to it.
All the professional DJ equipment that the students used was provided by a teacher in school, and that opened up a unique opportunity for the students.
I get to learn how to use new technology and software, and I get to connect with the crowd in a way that most people don't get to experience.
And their hard work pays off. They play at the school dances, including a special 8th grade banquet, and sometimes even dances for other schools. Thanks to summer school, Aisha discovered one of her greatest passions and a lesson she'll remember for the rest of her life.
Girls make great DJs, and I love DJing.
This is Bailey Nakano from King Intermediate for Hiki NŌ. We're back for one more peek into Leilehua High School. This is our studio inside Cinematech, our digital media academy. Here, students learn the inner workings of video and television production and gain valuable industry experience. We share the facility with Olelo Community Media, and their employees provide us with key resources and training. We shoot events on and off campus, record our school's daily news bulletins, and produce videos for clients. One of our biggest projects this year is working with PBS Hawaii and being the home-based school for this episode of Hiki No.
That's it for this week's episode of Hiki No.
Remember, all these stories were shot, written, and edited by students like us.
We hope you've enjoyed watching them as much as we've enjoyed sharing them with you.
Tune in to next week's episode for more examples that Hawaii students Hiki No
Can do.
Broadcasts of Hiki No are made possible by the support of viewers like you. Mahalo. And by Bank of Hawaii Foundation, investing in Hawaii's future by promoting collaboration, critical thinking, and other 21st century skills through Hiki No.